This is the story of a kickboxer who followed a deadly path from glory to the criminal underworld. It all started with a young man named Najib Himmich. Najib was a rising star in the kickboxing world, with a bright future ahead of him. But greed and ambition led him down a very different path, one that would change his life forever. Najib got mixed up with some major players in the Amsterdam drug trade, like the notorious Gwenette Martha. At first, it was just easy money and a taste of the high life. But before long, Najib was in over his head, drawn deeper into the violent criminal world. When a huge cocaine shipment went missing, it sparked an all-out war between rival gangs. Betrayals, power struggles, and shocking acts of brutality followed. This bloody conflict came to be known as the Mocro Mafia War. In this crazy story, you'll see how greed can corrupt even the most promising individuals, and how an appetite for power and wealth can destroy even the tightest criminal bonds. Najib Himmich, also known as Ziggy, was born on February 13, 1988, in Amsterdam. His parents were both of Moroccan descent, and the family resided together in the vibrant neighborhood of Amsterdam East. In his early teenage years, he began training in kickboxing at the renowned Musid Gym, located in the lively Amsterdam East neighborhood. He was coached by Fikri Tijarti and former Dutch international Dries Boussata. From the onset, it was evident that he had a natural talent for kickboxing as he progressed rapidly in the sport. His impressive skills and swift advancement earned him the nickname Ziggy, which translates to the Invincible. In hindsight, this nickname seemed particularly fitting for him, reflecting his remarkable abilities and potential in kickboxing. In early 2009, he took part in a prestigious tournament held in South Korea. Demonstrating his exceptional skills and determination, he competed in 4 matches, emerging victorious in each one. His outstanding performance in this tournament further solidified his reputation as a formidable kickboxer. Impressed by Ziggy's remarkable performance, the promoter in South Korea extended a lucrative contract offer to him. This contract included not only a substantial financial package, but also provisions for a house and a car in South Korea, reflecting the promoter's eagerness to have Najib continue his kickboxing career in the country. Despite the attractive offer, Najib decided to decline the contract, choosing instead to remain in the Netherlands. He valued staying close to his family and friends, prioritizing his personal relationships and familiar surroundings over the opportunity to relocate to South Korea. This decision displayed his strong connections to his home and loved ones. In July 2009, he took part in the prestigious Real Fighters Gala, an event organized in Tétouan, Morocco. This high-profile competition attracted talented fighters from various regions. In this event, he faced off against American fighter Michael Reyna. Demonstrating his exceptional skill and power, Ziggy won the match decisively with a knockout in the first round. This impressive victory further strengthened his reputation as a formidable competitor in the kickboxing arena. Competing in the 67 to 70 kilo weight class, Najib aspired to achieve the pinnacle of success in kickboxing. To realize this goal, he signed a contract with K1 Max, one of the most prestigious kickboxing organizations in the world. This move was a significant step in his career, providing him with the platform to showcase his talent on an international stage and strive for the highest accolades in the sport. However, his fortunes took a rapid turn for the worse. Najib lacked a crucial element to achieve greatness. He possessed the skill but lacked the mindset. Once outside the gym, kickboxing faded from his priorities. Having already established himself in the ring, his focus shifted to pursuits beyond it. While his gym buddies Hafid El-Bastati and Mossab Amrani made significant strides in their sports careers, Najib Himmich took a different path. Instead of pursuing athletic success, he became associated with prominent figures in the world of organized crime, notably frequenting circles connected to major drug lords. Despite his divergence from the sporting spotlight, he maintained close ties with renowned kickboxer Badr Hari. During Najib's teenage years, Amsterdam was under the influence of notorious criminal figures, among whom Gwenette Martha stood out as one of the most prominent. He had a deep affection for kickboxers, originating from his genuine passion for the sport and his first-hand understanding of the immense dedication and effort required to excel in it. However, Gwenette recognized that these young men were not only passionate about kickboxing, but also eager for financial opportunities, making them susceptible to being influenced and swayed by promises of wealth and status. As a prominent figure in Amsterdam's criminal underworld, Gwenette Martha saw the recruitment of additional manpower as advantageous. He would initially entice these young men by providing them with small sums of money for their daily expenses. Over time, this generosity increased, evolving into the provision of sportswear and even covering the costs of personal training sessions. Eventually, for those who proved their loyalty and usefulness, he would reward them with luxurious items such as cars or expensive watches. However, Gwenette didn't stop there. He frequently attended kickboxing events and purchased numerous high-priced VIP tables for himself and his entourage. This gesture also served as an advantage for the young men, as selling VIP tables held significant importance in the kickboxing community. While this might appear generous on Gwenette's part, his actions were often motivated by ulterior motives. Individuals like Najib, in return, were expected to fulfill certain obligations for him. Ziggy's involvement in the underworld began with simple tasks like pickups and drop-offs, avoiding questions, and adhering to the rule of not inspecting the contents of packages. Over time, as trust developed, so did his responsibilities, leading him deeper into the criminal world. Najib really liked how Gwenette and his friends lived a luxurious life. This made him want to be more important in their group. He loved their big parties, expensive watches, and nice clothes. When Gwenette faced legal trouble and was arrested in 2007, Najib stood out as one of the frequent visitors, apparently to discuss business matters and offer support. Yet, rumors circulated that Najib may not have been entirely dismayed by Gwenette's arrest. In fact, some suggested that he saw it as an opportunity for personal advancement. With Gwenette temporarily removed from the scene, Ziggy saw a potential opening to expand his influence and capitalize on new opportunities within the organization. Gwenette escaped less than a year later, in May 2008, fleeing first to Morocco and then to Antwerp. Forced to lay low, he couldn't manage his business fully. Consequently, his associates Najib Bubu and Hussein Ait Susan took over. Meanwhile, Ziggy continued to ascend within the organization. In 2010, at just 22 years old, Najib was still in school, finishing his last year of a social work degree, while also being a top member of Gwenette's group. Najib's willingness to get involved in dirty work made him indispensable at a young age. When the fugitive Gwenette was apprehended again, Ziggy caught a fortunate break. Gwenette appointed Bubu as the temporary leader, which infuriated Hussein. Hussein left to form a new group with his brother-in-law, Benaouf, leaving Ziggy to fill the vacant spot. Bubu took charge of Antwerp, while Ziggy managed Amsterdam. Despite the booming business, Ziggy occasionally flaunted his wealth in Amsterdam clubs. One day, Najib visited a club and met the woman of his dreams, Luana Luz Xavier. Najib was 23, while Luana was 31. She was from Brazil but lived a simple life in Amsterdam, running her own shop selling Brazilian and Colombian clothing for women. Despite initial hesitation after meeting Najib in a club, Luana eventually agreed to see him again, leading to the development of a relationship. While Luana enjoyed running her small store in 2011, Najib invested in a new clothing business for her, featuring upscale brands in a prime location in Amsterdam's city center. In 2012, they welcomed their first child, followed by their second child a year later. As a mother, Luana continued to manage her store and carry on with her life. By now, she was fully aware of Najib's activities, but she remained unaware of the serious trouble he was about to face. Also, in 2012, one of the biggest feuds in the Netherlands started, namely the Mocro Mafia War. A shipment of 200 kilograms of cocaine disappeared from the port of Antwerp, leaving multiple invested groups puzzled. Speculations arose regarding whether customs seized it, if one of the involved groups stole it, or if a third party was responsible. Despite numerous rumors, the exact truth remains unknown to this day, fueling tensions among the groups. Baobu managed affairs in Antwerp, while Ziggy oversaw operations in Amsterdam. Bubu intended to meet at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Antwerp to discuss the missing shipment and potentially resolve the issue with Benaouf's group. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a trap, resulting in Najib Bubu's tragic demise and sparking the full outbreak of the Mocro Mafia War. Ziggy found himself at the center of the conflict. With Najib Bubu gone, Ziggy assumed control over both Antwerp and Amsterdam. He was on the verge of reaching the top, especially with Gwenette still in jail. However, due to escalating violence in Amsterdam, Ziggy decided to relocate to Spain for safety. There, he not only sought refuge from the feud, but also formed a connection with Samir Scarface. At that time, Samir was the most significant cocaine smuggler in the Netherlands, with an estimated net worth exceeding $1 billion. Samir and Gwenette were rivals. Although Ziggy was still essentially Gwenette's right-hand man, managing Gwenette's operations, he started finding himself in a difficult position. When Gwenette was released from jail, he had lost much of his former power and intimidation. He tried to continue controlling Ziggy, but Najib was no longer willing to be bossed around. Despite his loyalty to Gwenette, who had mentored him and provided opportunities, Najib had experienced what it was like to be in charge while Gwenette was imprisoned. Unwilling to step down, Najib began gravitating more towards Samir. Najib frequently found himself in difficult situations where he had to choose between Gwenette and Samir. In the criminal underworld, loyalty to two rival camps is impossible. This conflict came to an end on the evening of May 22, 2014. Gwenette, accompanied by two associates, was at a shawarma shop in Amstelveen. When Gwenette and one associate stepped outside to talk, he was ambushed and shot 80 times, resulting in his death. Samir, though pleased with Gwenette's death, had questions about Ziggy's loyalty and whether he should be worried. On August 29, 2014, in Benahavis, Spain, Najib and Samir were discussing business at a cafe with Naufal Fassi. Trusting the situation, Samir was relaxed until Najib put his arm around him. Moments later, two armed men approached and fatally shot Samir as he tried to flee. After this, Najib disappeared. His wife, Luana, who used to speak with him daily, lost contact with him in November 2014. She traveled to Madrid, his last known location, with their children, but found no trace of him. In December 2014, Luana returned to the Netherlands. On the evening of December 8th, she was shot dead in front of her mother and children outside her home by a man who emerged from a black BMW. Anonymous sources later suggested that Najib had been buried alive in Spain, and Luana might have received images of his torture before her death. It is believed she knew who was behind the assassination. In 2015, Luana's family accused the criminal Khalid J of orchestrating her murder. They claimed he sent messages indicating Luana planned to talk to the police about Najib's possible murder. In January 2020, Khalid was arrested in Dubai and extradited to the Netherlands. That's the end of this true crime case. The story suggests that greed and the pursuit of wealth and power corrupt even the strongest bonds. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something similar, where money and status tore apart close relationships or allegiances? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks for watching.